Welcome to the Movement Minutes with your host, REID Nellis. Here, we pursue the human connection. We learn how to empower one another. We discuss clinical pearls. We discover our passions. We reflect on our capacity to achieve. We remain open to novel trends and concepts, because regardless of our backgrounds or experiences, our successes or failures, we all speak the same language, human movement. All right. We're back. I sounded a little bit like Matthew McConaughey there. Like we can throw a little wow from Owen Wilson. I don't know, whatever. We're back, okay? I know it's been a while, and it's especially been a while since we've done an FYC episode, which is Fill Your Cup. So just to remind y'all, the idea is that we must fill our own cup before we can pour into others. So as a provider, as a helper in the service industry, trying to get people to move and feel better, talking about myself here and a lot of you listening, if I'm not feeling or being my best, I can't help people my best too. I've talked about this in prior episodes and prior conversations with a lot of people is, I listen to the music that I want to listen to. I dress the way I want to dress. I have a lot of autonomy in my job because that allows me to be me and fill my cup so that I'm able to be my best me when I'm working with other patients and clients, right? So that's kind of the emphasis of Fill Your Cup. Past episodes, we've talked about cold exposure, calling people and creating social connections and how important that is in our day-to-day life. That episode was filmed during COVID, which was especially important to call somebody, not just text them, not just say like, yo, but like have a real conversation with them, right? So this is another episode of Fill Your Cup, a way that we can take care of ourselves first so that we are able to help each other as best as possible. So diving into this episode, I've been busy, not in the way that you'd classically think. Sure, I've been marketing, networking, building this business, seeing patients, doing admin things. I've got 3 different 2-hour courses coming out, CEU courses for other professionals, as well as another 6 to 8 hour HIPS course coming out. So I've been cramming to get all that stuff done, housework projects, all those things, the things that are my job per se, the daily grind, if you will. But I've been busier lately, which is partially why we haven't had an episode released, doing other things that you wouldn't classically think of like the busy person doing, right? I've been, calming my mind, fishing with my son, going on bike rides with my family, reading a little bit more, falling into a newfound fitness routine that I've been absolutely loving. Programming your own exercises is kind of fun sometimes. Enjoying more social connections, going to happy hours with friends, starting to get back into golf now that it's nice out. I've been busy enjoying my life, right? And I know that sounds like a big old like, oh, good for you, Reed. It must be so nice to be able to do those things. It's because I prioritize that. And guess what? You deserve to do that too. So that's what this episode is going to be about. Taking a damn break because you deserve it. Now, I want you to pause for a second and hear me through here. This is all coming from a guy who has to schedule his time for himself, right? I literally have to block off time on my schedule, and I put in GSD, get shit done, meaning do stuff for yourself and make it purposeful, which we'll talk about later in the episode here. But this is a tough but necessary topic. A lot of you guys have been built into the grind and built into the mindset of, I have to go in order to achieve. That's absolutely true. Don't get me wrong. You do have to go in order to achieve, especially in this chaotic world that we live in. But taking a step back and taking some time for yourself, taking time to build social connections, breathe, be purposeful with your mindset is absolutely crucial in this chaotic world that we live in, right? So don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the grind. I absolutely thrive in chaos and appreciate the hecticness of a day-to-day schedule when things are coming at you from 1,000 different directions and you have your hands in 1,000 different buckets. I teach. I run a clinic. I'm a Chamber of Commerce secretary. I've got a family that keeps me busy. I love hanging out with my friends. Like, I have my hands in many different buckets, right? But if we redline for days, weeks, months on end, that can lead to an engine blowing up in a car, much less in our bodies, right? If we are absolutely just stressed out to the max, even if we enjoy that, which I do, for days, weeks, months on end, without any reprieve or any break in that process, we're going to get burnt out. And it's understanding that burnout process and understanding it before it hits and taking that time to reset, to re-energize, to refuel, and taking a little pit stop, if you will, so we can keep running this race of life. So as I mentioned earlier, I literally schedule my breaks, right? So if I'm looking at my schedule right now on my computer, I see tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I have a 2 o'clock until 3 o'clock break, and it's GSD, get shit done, right? In that get shit done, what my plan is right now is to sit down on the floor here in the office because I have a couple meetings later and just breathe. Do I breathe just for an hour? No, I think about things, might run back to my computer if I have a good idea, but it's purposeful. And what I'm getting at is my plan for tomorrow's break, my me time break, is to sit down, breathe, relax, let whatever thought comes to my head come to my head, because that's when I do my best thinking, right? So I have a purposeful intent to that where it's kind of like my internal brainstorming session while doing some active breath work, taking some me time for that. And sure, sometimes I hit this 2 o'clock break on a random Friday or Thursday or whatever it is, and all of a sudden the juices start flowing and I have these good ideas and I have to buzz back to my computer and I'm like ready and amped up to start creating content or doing something or doing some admin work and marketing and reaching out to patients or whatever that topic is. If it hits me, I'll let that run sometimes. But there's also a crucial point where you need to shut that off. And even though the juices are flowing, you need to make a mental note or actually document, okay, this is what I want to do later. This is what I want to do later, and really hone yourself in and be true to yourself to sit down and just relax for a little bit. So what does a break mean? What does this mindful, taking some me time, filling your cup mean? It means being purposeful. That can be active, that can be passive, but that has to be purposeful. This does not mean Netflix and chill, which, don't get me wrong, Ozark is out right now. I've been hammering through that series, trying to finish everything up. You can Netflix and chill all you want, but that does not count as your me time break, right? I want purposeful, intentful, thoughtful breaks that are going to inspire you and create more passion so that we can fill our cup in order to help others, right? So what we want to think about is find something you're passionate about. Take these breaks to, as I mentioned, be more mindful in breathing, things like that, absolutely. A break could be woodworking. A break could be fishing. A break could be going on a bike ride with your family, going for a walk with your dog, learning something new. Jump on anything. If you're like, hey man, that looks interesting, start diving into it and start learning something new. A break could be a fitness class, making that your priority, as long as it doesn't feel like a chore. We have enough chores in our life and things that seem daunting in our life that we have to do or we need to do and things like that. That gets us through. That's absolutely fine. I love that aspect of life, but we need to take a break away from that and do whatever the hell you want to do as well. So let's think about it this way. When your boss tells you to be at work at 8 a.m., you get there at 8 a.m., right? When you have an email you need to send by the end of the week, that email gets out by the end of the week, I'm sure, or at least I'm hoping so, right? But what happens when you tell yourself to take a break at 2 o'clock? Do you do it? Do you actually sit down and do that breath work or jump in a cold shower or go for a walk or go for a bike ride or go fishing or go golfing or do whatever it is? Quite often we'd run into this situation where that 2 o'clock hits and you're like, oh, but I'm so far behind on this and I've got to get this done. You have to set those guidelines for yourself and actually follow through. If you are your own boss, which we all are of our own life, even if we have like a real work boss, we have to adhere to our rules first before we can adhere to anybody else's rules. We set the rules for our own life and our own being. So that's it, everybody. Nice shorty for today's episode. I'm kind of revved up about this, if you can't tell. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the grind and talking about how much they've been going, and I'm guilty of that too. Again, like I said, I thrive in chaos, but here's your doctor's note, if you will, and your gold star passport to take a break and do whatever the hell you want. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your months. Right as soon as you're done hitting play on this, if you haven't already, go chill, go do whatever the heck you want, go for a walk, enjoy that, and it will make you a better human so that we can help others be better humans as well, right? We will increase our productivity, we will increase our happiness, we will increase our life within these years that we have on this earth. So enjoy the day and take care, everybody.